Hey, how's it going?
The world's been locked down.
Burger! And boom, kill that. And post it. Bam. Only tagging a few people these days. You know, I'm not gonna deal with the schmucks in the world anymore, you know? I don't know why I'm wearing just a white t-shirt. It's the worst color to wear with a green screen. You like my little picture? I liked it. I saw this one and I duplicated it with the all in favor of defunding police and all in favor of stopping faith. I like, see, here's the thing. I like what I wrote in this sense. Follow me. I like this. I don't like guns, cops, or religion. Yet in desperate times, I thank God I have my gun until the cops get there. And that's just a fact. It's just a fact. It's like, we're all atheists until we're super hungover or, you know, either we're super hungover or we're about to die. We're all atheists until then. And then we're like, oh God, Allah, Krishna, Judah, I don't know, whoever you shoot to, man. What I'm saying is you have to be able to wake up and kind of realize that, sorry, we're in a scary time right now. We're in a time where everything's threatened. It's a time where we have to decide if we're going to let history repeat itself or we're going to, for the first time, look at history and go, no, you're not defunding the police, you're not getting rid of guns, and you're not stopping faith. And I really don't like guns, and I don't like the police, and I don't care for religion. But those three things being around say to us that, one, I have the right to protect myself. Two, I have the right as an American to be protected. And three, I have a right as an American to practice the religion I want. And it supersedes the rights of the government to stop me. That's what those three things say to me. That's like when people have said forever, I don't want to stop the Klan from marching and having their parades because I don't want my freedoms taken away. They're not connected. They're not connected. The Klan marching is not connected to your freedoms because when the Klan marches, they're preaching hate. That's a hate march, not a protest march, not a march of freedom. I'm just saying that. But when people that march for gun rights, if their rights are taken away, then all of ours go. When people who protest police brutality, when people protest police brutality, if their rights are taken away to protest, we all lose our rights. See, that's what I'm saying is when rioters get arrested, it's good. It's good. When vandals and looters get shot or arrested, hooray. When Klan members get the shit kicked out of them, hooray, who cares? When gun advocates, when Second Amendment people, when First Amendment people, when things like that, when anyone harasses them, no, that's not okay. You are messing with the rights of people's freedoms. It's not a freedom to want to wipe the earth of somebody. It is a freedom to want to have protection. And it is our right as Americans to be protected on top of that. That's why we pay taxes. It is our right as Americans to have church and state separate. So when these are being taken away, and when we know the group that's trying to do it, and when we know that everything they're doing is exactly like what's been done before, then we have to wake up. Because if we don't wake up to it, what happens is insanity. What goes on is not okay. I lost something somewhere. Oh, I thought this was hysterical. It's going to get me banned. I swear to God, it's going to get me banned. Watch this. I know this. I know this is getting me banned, but I love this. Look at this. I don't care what. It's begging me not to do it. Actually, that's what's so funny. It's telling me like, hey, look, it's even taking extra time, saying you don't want to do this. That's how you're gonna get banned. But look at that. Is that fucking fantastic? That's Pelosi's head. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, Pelosi's head. That's Hillary Clinton right there. That's Kamala Harris right there. And there's Biden. So you got the two ball sacks right there, Kamala and Biden. The big dick is Hillary. And the head of it all, scumbag Pelosi. Come on. How can you not love this? The only thing better than this is my other one. And you know it. These are two great fucking things. They're fucking hysterical. So, but the deal, and what a lot of people aren't getting is that's what I'm saying is like I think religion, I think it's all stupid and stuff, but I don't want to stop it. I want to make sure it's around. I want to make sure those idiots are giving their 10% and praising God and doing all that stuff. And I want them praising Allah, and I want them bowing down to the east, and I want them all being able to do this, because as long as they get to do that, I'm free. I want people to have their guns, because when they have guns, I feel more protected. I mean, you got to be honest. If guns were that big of a deal right now, shit would be going really crazy. The fact that people have guns is possibly the reason shit hasn't gone totally crazy. The fact that normal citizens have access to guns, have guns. They tried to shut down the gun shops. They did for a minute just to see what would happen. They wanted to see what would happen. And they saw people got pissed real quick. All I'm saying, guys, is if you're going to fuck with people's rights, if you're going to fuck with people's religion, their guns, and things like that, that's what this country is founded on. Your right to bear arms, your right to be protected, your right to have faith, your right to practice your faith freely. But people aren't able to practice their faith freely. If they want to put their hand in God and trust God to cover them for the coronavirus, then they should be able to. We've let people do far worse. We've let people do so much worse in this country. We, again, keep in mind, guys, we're all like, oh, this and this is wrong, right? Meanwhile, right now, as we all speak, Amish country, Quaker land, and the African villages in South Carolina and stuff, they all exist. And women are slaves there. Women are completely oppressed there. But nobody's stopping any of these. Do you really think anyone actually cares? Oh, sorry. I'm in so much pain. If you ever thought someone cared, seriously, don't you think they would have ended all this shit? Don't you think they would have put a stop to this Amish crap and the Quaker lands, and they wouldn't give them free lands, and they wouldn't give these people African villages where they can marry 12 years old, where grown men can marry 12-year-olds? Oh, that's funny. You're from South Carolina. Yeah. Do you know that they have the African villages out there? Yeah. Yeah. And did you know that they have African villages out there? I'm just curious. I asked that because you just put that. Yeah. You didn't know that they had those, huh? Isn't that a trip, though? Yeah. So look it up. It's in South Carolina, North Carolina, in those areas. They have African villages, land that was given to black people. Not even African people, just black people. And they have a king. And they have the council. And these people, they get to marry, these men get to marry young underage girls, and they have babies. And now, how do I know about this? My ex, her aunt in the 70s, 80s, moved to one of these African villages, had kids. One of the kids was married off to one of the kings when the girl was 12. They scar their faces with marks. Please hear me, because this is going on in South Carolina where this person lives. They don't know. People don't know. Nobody knows this is real, but this is government sponsored. It's been so forever, and this was a democratic thing. But these are women being completely oppressed, and kids and pedophiles being able to be pedophiles. That's what I'm saying. And check it out, because this was some shit. They don't have electricity, but they have generators. They pay no taxes. They pay no money. They go and have jobs, and then they come back and live there. They've built these crazy cool places there now. But yeah, look it up. It's African. It's South Carolina African villages, and like I said, they have the kings, the queens, Quaker land, Amish land, all these things. Very oppressive. This is what I'm saying, though. We don't stop that. So stop pretending this stuff like Democrats care and Republicans care. No politicians care about us. What I'm trying to say is what's scary is somebody's coming for our guns. They've been trying. Somebody's been trying to defund the police, and somebody's been trying to stop our faith. That is what Hitler did. Yeah, no, obviously you've heard of the Amish. But no, I could be wrong, but I believe it's AM, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, no, I'm sure you've heard of the Amish. I'm sure you've heard of the Quakers in Pennsylvania and stuff, but the Dutch. But beyond them, it goes into this African village too. But even where the Amish are, there's older men marrying underage women. So that's legal pedophilia. Now, I understand cultural things. They've been here a bit long to keep that culture going, you know? Like, it's funny. I love saying this because what I tell the Amish is at this point, blend in or go home. Like back to Germany or wherever. But you know what I'm saying? Blend in or go home at this point, but you can't keep marrying underage kids when you're 40. It's just, it's dirty. It's got to end, right? So, okay. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make though is we have to wake up, guys. You have to wake up to what's happening. You have to wake up to what's being said because it's scary as fuck. Again, I am not thinking that Trump is a good guy. I just think he hasn't been a bad president, but I don't think he's a good guy. I don't think he cares about me personally. I don't think Trump cares about me personally. I don't think Trump follows the Bible. First of all, I've already told you guys he's Jewish. But I don't think he follows the Bible. I don't think he does any of that. I just don't think he's trying to take away all our freedoms. I don't. And again, I said it before, though. I've said he could be Trojan horsing any new world orders for everyone. But I don't think that's what's happening. And I think we need to wake up to what is happening. Well, this is the crazy question. Here's exactly it. Right now, the left is doing all these things. The Democrats are doing all these things, the AOCs, Omars, and all them. Now, again, please keep in mind, AOC, Omar, and Kamala Harris, all three are married to rich white guys. Did you know that? Thickum, South Carolinas, whatever that says. I'm sorry. Did you know, though, that Kamala Harris, Omar, and AOC, Cortez, they're all three married to rich white men? I just wonder how many people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They kept it so low key that their husbands were white men and you didn't know. And that's the crazy thing. So out of all those people, Trump married the least white person. Out of all the people running for office right now, Trump is the only one married to an immigrant. Keep that in mind. Trump is the only one running for president right now who is married to an immigrant. This is what people don't get. That's what I'm saying. This is what scares the fuck out of me. Again, if you go look at my podcast in 2016 when Trump started running, I said the motherfucker's a Trojan horse. He's a Democrat. He was a Democrat. He's been a Democrat. He tried to run for president on Democrat. He's coming in and he's trying to screw over them. And he's going to hand the Democrats everything. Now, then he got into office and he started doing all these things. And I thought, holy shit. Well, but see what I'm saying is, and I get what you're saying, but when you say Donald Trump and I get all that, the thing is, right now, what they're saying about Donald Trump, though, is they're going, yeah, well, he's a dick. Donald Trump's a dick. Huh? Am I right, guys? Isn't he a dick? Isn't Trump an asshole? Look at his tweets. And I would tell you, yes, Donald Trump is an asshole. And yes, Donald Trump is a womanizer and he's an egotist and he's a rich boy and he's a trust fund kid. Yes. Joe Biden is also equally those things because his story about his dad and everything's a fucking lie. But Joe Biden is a complete and utter scumbag, dirtbag. And he said from his own mouth, they don't have to make up things. They don't have to make up fake quotes. They don't have to cut scenes. See, guys, I'm going to tell you this because when the George Floyd video came out, I flipped and I went, fuck these cops and fuck this shit. And this is enough. And this guy did nothing. He did nothing. He's begging him to stop. This is the worst thing in the world. I go look at the videos. I have proof. I was horrified by what happened. It was disgusting. Then I saw the whole video. And then the autopsy came out that he didn't die from that. He died from a fucking overdose. Like basically, he died from drugs and a cardiovascular attack. But the fact that you can hear on the whole video when you get to see the whole video, and guys, I suggest you go find the George Floyd entire video because it bums me out because I was really behind that it was total bullshit that they did that to him and that they killed that man. And this and that. But it turns out the cops were really trying to appease him and they were offering to like put on the air, roll down the windows, do all these things. He was just out of his mind. He was in psychosis. And so he just wasn't coherent. And then they held him down and that's not what killed him. So we ruined cities and we went crazy. Meanwhile, George Zimmerman lives. Follow that. Okay, so everybody's all Black Lives Matter and blah, 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 blah. And you don't get your part of an agenda from these rich ass white people and Jewish people. I'm Jewish, and I look white. So I'm telling you, and I like who I am. I'm proud of me. Fuck you. If you got a problem with me being white or Jewish, eat a dick. If you think I'm privileged, eat a dick. If you think I've had anything given to me, I don't even have anything. So I am not saying like, oh, I've gotten all this on my own. No, I did. I did get all this on my own and I have very little. That's the truth. That's the reality of the world. If you're not connected, you don't get shit. This is where I disagree with Ben Shapiro. I like what Ben Shapiro says and I find Ben Shapiro very intelligent. Where I disagree with Ben Shapiro is when he says we all have the same opportunity, and that is definitely not true. We do not all have the same opportunity in this country. People who have money have the same opportunity. People who don't have money do not have the same opportunity. You see, that's that simple. Your race be damned. Your religion be damned. What is Project Bluebeam? I am so sorry. I didn't know that. Tell me about that, please. What do I like about Project Bluebeam? Please tell me. And yeah, Trump is Jewish. I mean, look at his sister. Did you look at his sister? Trump's Jewish. What a horrible sister to have too, though. You know, I mean, like, think about that. So, okay. So with the alien thing, you got to keep this in mind. Russia came out a while back and said there are extraterrestrials. I don't think we're bringing aliens to Earth, just to be real. If anything, I think aliens would be coming to Earth and we're like negotiating with them. Like, hey, don't kill us, don't eat us, whatever. But Russia told us a while back that there is life out there. And everyone denied it and said they're scum. Okay, well, there you go. America, during the pandemic, came out and said, yes, we've spotted unidentified and extraterrestrial life. Anyway, how's everyone doing? And hey, how about that Mark McGuire? How about home runs? How about someone else is getting beat? Pay attention over here, but we did tell you, but look over here. And so everyone's just like, what? Did they just tell us that there's aliens? People are like, yeah, I think so. Yeah, me too. I think, hey man, the government just came out and told us that there's aliens. I know. And then they're like, someone else is like, really? I didn't hear that. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it totally came out. Okay, what do we do? I don't know. I don't know what we do. They told us there's aliens and we got this pandemic and I can't really go outside and I can't really do anything, but fuck. So there's aliens? And so what I guess I'm saying is they kind of told us that there's aliens, there's extraterrestrial life, blah, 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 blah. And then they did it in a way that we would just look and go, okay, I don't know what to do. Like I want to do something. And then people went, okay, we're going to Area 51. And then everyone would say, well, nah, we're not, because they'll shoot us. But okay, so That just went away. Area 51 just went away. Oh, that went away. Do you know by next year we won't even, this pandemic will be a thing of the past, or or we'll be fucked from it? I don't know. I honestly am scared to death if Trump loses. I'm scared to death when George Floyd is found, or the cops are found innocent based on 100% proof. The fact that not only will the cops be found innocent of second-degree murder, they will be found innocent of everything, and more than likely, not only not be reinstated, but be compensated for losing their jobs. You can even hear the Asian cop on the full video. And if you haven't seen the full video, again, please look at the full George. I was on his side. I was flipped out. I wanted blood from these cops. I was pissed. I got it. I've been there. I get it. It was bullshit. They killed him. And then boom, see the whole video, not the 8 minutes they showed you, not the edited clips that mainstream fucking media showed you. No, the whole video. And then you see the entire interaction and the whole thing and how they went to the car and how they did this, not the cut video, the uncut video. And when you watch that uncut video, you realize these cops are not liable for anything. That man died, but he died of being on methamphetamines and fentanyl and fucking having cardiovascular problems. That's what he died of. And he was completely incoherent. And that's it. And the George Floyd they keep showing the pictures of was not the George Floyd that was at that moment. That was a drug addict. He was a junkie. It sucks he was a junkie, but he was a junkie. So again, that happened. We also burned down cities for fucking Rodney King, who was a piece of shit. But George Zimmerman lives, assholes. Why does George Zimmerman keep living? And you pretend you care about Trayvon Martin was shot for doing fucking nothing. I don't care if Trayvon Martin was kicking dude's ass. Dude had no reason to go up to Trayvon Martin ever for any reason. Yeah, they played up the age thing and changed his age and pictures and shit. That's fine. Whatever. But Trayvon Martin didn't have a gun. Trayvon Martin wasn't on drugs. Trayvon Martin didn't do dick shit. He was just going home. This man took it upon himself to be Mr. and everyone's asshole. And he got up on with Trayvon Martin, and Trayvon Martin kicked his ass. That's all. And then he pulled a gun out and shot Trayvon Martin. He shot a young man to death. He lives. None of you are going and finding him. None of you are protesting his house. None of you follow him around and surround everywhere he lives and follow him everywhere to make his life a living hell because he took the life of a truly talented young black man who had a huge future, had a huge future of any kind in front of him, good, bad, whatever. It was an open future. He was a young man. King, Rodney King, George Floyd, these were older men and on drugs. Trayvon Martin was a young man. And hell, the young Mexican kid who was shot in LA by the cops, he was a young man with a future. Trayvon Martin was a young man with a future. Why aren't we going after those cops and why aren't we going after George Zimmerman? Ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself these questions and figure out what's really going on. Figure out that we're being fucked. Figure out that we need to go occupy vacant land. I'm going to say it a million times. Occupy vacant land. Occupy vacant land. Occupy vacant land. That wasn't a million times, but who the fuck's going to say it a million times? But do occupy vacant land. Because if we get out there and we take all the vacant land and we start building tiny houses, this meaning like log cabins, wood houses, things like that. And we start building these and we live there and we create solar power. And we get our power from the sun and we create windmills and we get our power from that. And we fuck the government and fuck the system. We harness our own electricity, but nobody charges for it. It's just the harnessed electricity. Follow me, people. Get out there. Occupy land. Stop occupying cities. Stop taking over cities and being douchebags and all that shit. Go occupy land and build and create new towns I want to create towns. My goal is to buy land, build tiny homes, sell them off, creating towns of multi-ethnic, gender, whatever, people who just want to live free and let everyone else live free as well. Who are fine if their neighbor has 1,000 guns because they don't foresee their neighbor using the guns on them. They respect one another. They love one another. They appreciate one another for being human beings. And that's what I want to create. And so I'm saying occupy land. real land, vacant land, empty forest land, desert land. Occupy that, and let's take it and let's create new societies. And fuck the LAs and fuck Hollywood and fuck all this stuff. Fuck New York. Fuck all these places. They're bullshit. They're lies. Pay $500,000 for a 1-bedroom house. That's lies. Lies. You pay more for a car in New York than you do in North Dakota. It's bullshit. It's all lies. Let it stop. Let it stop, guys. Let's get back to being what America could have been. Let's become what America could have been and should be. Let's make America great for the first time.